So I would suggest, if anyone has a chance or any dream, any idea to develop, so I would just encourage to take a chance and to try to make the startup. Sometimes these startups become huge unicorns, big companies. Sometimes they not, but the whole journey you are going through is definitely worth it. Meet many, many interesting people, and you will see the world outside the academics.
Hi, Neringa. Thank you so
Hi.
much for coming to the Life of Founder. How's it going?
Good. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. All mine. So, as we talk about the life of founders, it's pretty clear that we talk about the life of entrepreneurs behind startups. So, as we start, would you give an introduction to yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Neringa. I'm a co-founder and now I'm a CEO of BrachyDOSE startup. It's a MedTech startup. We made it from the bigger engineering company, and it does the medical device, specific medical device to measure accurate, precise radiation dose delivered to cancer patients. And we aim, and my aim as well, is to reduce the side effects or eliminate the side effects in radiotherapy procedures. So that's my specific background is medical engineering, medical physics, and also applied physics. It's very, very broad background.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your introduction. Let's talk about how do you approach entrepreneurship? Why?
Well, the first was that I wanted more dynamic job to do. I worked at the university, and university is very safe place for scientists, for engineer to work at. But I wanted something to do more exciting, more dynamic, and there was some kind of booming time for startups to create a startup in Lithuania. So I took a chance. I participated at the Kona Startup Accelerator, and that was actually the whole startup started there. So I took a good chance to create something different than we did earlier in the academic work.
So, you started with an accelerator program.
Yeah. We got the invitation as students at the university. Some people worked at the university. Some of my former team members, they had their own startups before, and they said it's a good chance to do something different, to do something exciting, not only the academic work. So to make your dream come true, to develop your dream device to make an impact.
I mean, not all founders has the opportunity, the likelihood of starting with an accelerator. So, which means you start already be backed by people who should know what they're doing and helping you to get to the right direction when you move from idea to moving forward to a MVP, a product. Would you recommend to any founder moving from, for example, from an academic side like yourself, or be employed, or whatever it's going to be an entrepreneur starting with these kind of programs?
Well, from my point of view, it was the best choice I did because it opened me the view, opened the opportunities to do something else, not to be closed in the only in the very intelligent academic bubble, let's say. So I would suggest, if anyone has a chance or any dream, any idea to develop, so I would just encourage to take a chance and to try to make the startup. Uh, Sometimes it goes well. Sometimes these startups become huge unicorns, big companies. Sometimes they not, but the whole journey you are going through is definitely worth it. So you can learn many things, meet many interesting people, and you will see the world outside the university, let's say, or let's say outside the academics. So definitely.
It's indeed very different from academic to the ground of entrepreneurship is such a massive jump. But where do you find the most helpful and interesting part in doing your acceleration program?
Well, for me, it was meeting the new people, meeting the ones which we were watching at TV, let's say, or saw only on the LinkedIn or famous conferences, the business people, the big companies, CEOs of big companies. So these accelerators, other programs we were participating at, so they made us a chance to meet these people. Eye to eye, let's say, to get their advices, to get to know them, to get to know what's this kind of international business looks like in deep. So
Yeah, you meet very interesting people who can give you
yeah,
very interesting advices and mentoring the way how to move
yeah,
forward.
definitely.
Uh, why have you decided? I mean, as you said, academic it's a kind of bubble, beautiful bubble, but it's a kind of bubble, right? And
Yeah,
after
very
this
comfortable bubble, let's say.
bubble, and after you decide to move something that exactly the opposite, you move on from the comfort zone, you go straight to the most uncertain thing to do in life, which means becoming an entrepreneur. How do you feel when you decided to do this? How was it?
Well, it was, first of all, it was exciting. For me to do something new, to do something different is always exciting, but it's my type of personality or something. Then when exciting stuff came a little bit down, so it was a bit scary to see how different, how dynamic, unpredictable, actually unpredictable, it's the best word probably for this, how this journey looks like. It's not so well planned, not so well designed, not so easy to say what you will do next in a 3 years or in a year or 10 years. It's not like academic career or something. So a bit scary, but still, after these years, now we were developing this BrachyDOSE idea for 6 years. So it's still very exciting because new challenges are coming. And if you still have some challenges, exciting challenges to solve, so it's still a good, interesting work to do. So I can say that to sum up my whole this talk is that still exciting and I feel excited.
I mean, as you said, it's very challenging and it's walking in the unknown even after 6 years. Uh, what do you find as you started the most challenging part?
Well, first of all, I thought that the funding is the most difficult part because you don't have always you don't have enough money to develop the device, to develop the solution, to present the solution. But now, well, time passed by and I can say that now the most challenging part is to combine the efficient, well working team and to sustain this well working agile team for to go through all the challenges and tasks we have to do. Um, in general, many challenges. I think small team, one of them, funding, raising funds, presenting the startup, also the one of the challenges. We were not used to do this in the academia world. We were used to present research, scientific conclusions, results, everything we've done closed in the lab, and then there in the startup, everything is, let's say, more open, more public, marketing. Everyone, team members must be seen, must be open, must do the sales themselves. So this kind of mind shift from the closed academia to very open business, international business, was one of the challenges as well.
I mean, pitching your idea is very challenging. Raising funds, it's an extraordinarily tough task. It's
Yeah,
indeed at the very beginning is where you are challenged the most because you had to migrate the idea inside your brain into a pitch and convincing someone to give you the money, which is it's pretty crazy, right? So you have to tell to someone, I had this idea and please give me some money and I give you this plus 10, 20, 30 times more. Again, it's very, very challenging, but at the same time, this is where founders convince themselves. If you can convince someone to give you the money, that's a massive step ahead, which means you make people believe in that your ability to move on, although, above your just idea, it's very strong. And you have to have some kind of personality to do so. But in terms of, do you have a daily routine? I'm a massive believer of structuring your day, a method to be used possibly any single day, not a repetition, but moving with priorities. I give you a method that helps you, especially when bad day comes.
Oh, well, when I was younger, let's say, I've been a part of athletics team, so we had strict schedules and schedules we had to follow. So I used this methodology for to be more sustainable or efficient in a startup. Usually, I start the day with simply prioritizing the works we should do, and then what I don't want to do, I don't need to do. So I take aside these works, jobs, tasks I don't need to do this day, and just try to do one specific, most important task of the day, and I try to finalize it until the end, until final document, presentation, workflow, whatever it is. So it helps me to not to lose the timeline, not to get out of my mind, because many of tasks are coming every day, and every task is a priority. Let's say IP protection team wants to get your opinion, and then regulatory team wants to know what to do next, and everything is a priority. So I just try to be on a let's say
Especially in your environment.
yeah, yeah, be more less motivation, more strict schedule to keep this process going. Well, difficult days comes for everyone, so um, it
It does.
comes and passes by. So
Yeah, pass by and they go. But how do you overcome them? I say, yes, be a founder, a successful founder needs to be good. To be good in what you're doing, knowing what you're doing, have the right skills, technical skills, in somehow business skills. But I truly believe that what really matters is the resilience and motivation you have behind. Because resilience is where you really get the ball rolling, even a day where absolutely everything will go completely wrong. So how do you overcome those days? Do you go for a walk, or you keep working night and day until things are sorted?
well, I use different things actually. I like doing sports, so I choose to work for specific hours a day, let's say, and then go for running, skiing, skating, whatever it's relevant. Well, in the winter time, it's more skating, skiing. In the summertime, it's more running, biking, hiking, anything what's outside. So it clears the head and it changes the environment you are in, and all the answers significantly comes more clear, and the head gets some specific rest. So I actually myself, I do believe in more in discipline than in the motivation itself, because when it's difficult day, when you don't want to get out of your bed, it's raining, it's snowing, it's minus 35, only the discipline will get you out of the bed,
Yeah.
because motivation says that maybe it's a good idea to pass this day in bed and don't do anything difficult.
Motivation and is good, but as you say, discipline, be disciplined, and having a method in place will help a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Absolutely,
it
will
comes
have.
from sports, so
Sports helps. I mean,
yeah.
I've been doing sports since I was 6. I still doing the same. I'm 53, and I believe with the sport I will never done anything in my life because in somehow it fits so well inside the mindset. It helps you to be determined and never give up in any condition. But outside, I believe you spend a lot of time working. As you said, you give your time also to sport. So, do you have any other things you like to do outside sport and working?
Well, my free time favorite is definitely being outside, going hiking or skiing or whatever. As far as I can, as more far it is, it's better. So I found out that hiking in the mountains is good stuff, even if you don't have the mountains in Lithuania. So I traveled some other countries. Hike in just have a hiking in the mountains, so it's definitely very relaxing. It's not relaxed, it's difficult, physically difficult, but it's relaxing, comparing regarding the mind. As well, there in Lithuania we do a lot of forest hiking. It's not mountains, but it's more fresh air, more being outside. Everything is much more slower. As well, I do like painting. It's a different kind of free time spending. It needs a lot of time, actually,
Yeah.
to draw something and paint something in a better quality than 6 years old. It needs some time, but it's also very relaxing, and mixing the colors makes more creativity and ignites some ideas in the end.
You need to have some kind of escape for. I mean, I remember when I was my first company. I tried to work even 24 hours in one day to sort out everything. But as you go, understand that you need a break. When you have a break and you go back, the problem becomes much easier to be sorted than it was at the very beginning. Uh, I mean, did become an entrepreneur make you better as a person, more mature,
So
for example?
I hope so. For myself, it opened up the mindset. I mean, that I'm now more open minded and more accepting other opinions, other ideas, other ways to work on the tasks than I was previously, I was before. So I think it helped me to improve as a person, definitely. Previously, I prioritized work alone as a solo, let's say, scientist, more time alone. And now, when I had to combine, I had to make a team, I had to work with team, I had to learn to work with team. So now I do differently, and now I prioritize working with team because it's much more, let's say, much more fun in the one way, and much more efficient and easy. And then we all together move this project to the market, and it's more joyful to have a talks to celebrate the winnings than to celebrate only on yourself. So I hope so. I improved.
I do believe being entrepreneur improve because you need to challenge yourself any single day. So you don't have, again, you go out from the comfort zone and you walk into an absolutely unknown territory, and you walk day by day, right? The visuality, the horizon is very short. So you need to very much be build up confidence at the minimum to move ahead. So I do believe entrepreneurship helps a lot. Uh, Now, in terms of we've been talking about your daily life, but do you? And I do believe you do. Uh, do you try to balance your life so don't be because founders they overwork. Indeed, they overwork. So do you try to balance this or be fully immersed just in working, abandoning anything else?
I tried everything, all these kind of techniques. First, I tried to balance the daily life work free time, family time, everything together. Then I tried to focus on, let's say, on a schedule, on a specific hours, let's say from 8 to 5 or 8 to 6, to do concentrated focus work on this, and then detach myself from work, and then having evening for family and friends and anything else. So I tried everything, but it's I can say that it's pretty difficult when the life is very dynamic and changing. And I spent whole January, literally the whole month somewhere else, not at home, traveling to the conferences and meetings in Switzerland and Estonia, and it's pretty difficult to combine the balance the work as we would like to, like let's say work from 8 to 5 and then have a free time. So I do everything. Actually, I just accept that the life looks like this, and I try to find the time for sport, time for family, time for friends, whatever the date is, not to be fixed on Monday to Friday or something else.
I believe you do very much right. Do you have a co-founder?
Yeah, I do.
Would you
He's
recommend?
our CTO.
Would you recommend to founders, to entrepreneurs that want to start their own, people that want to start their own entrepreneurial life? Do you believe having a co-founder helps?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to have another one co-founder as well, to be a free co-founders, or even four co-founders from a different backgrounds, business, science, sales. So it really helps, because I think that one person, he or she can't know everything, and that might be too difficult to handle all the tasks, and it may lead to burnout finally. So it's good, very good, to have a co-founder, trusted co-founder.
We go back to co-founder, but let me follow up on burnout. That's a massive problem in startup founders, especially founders, first-time founder. They try to push too much, and at the end of the day, we are all humans, and there is one day that just you burn out completely. Burnout is very bad. I don't. I really. I wish to anybody experience a burnout, because it's terribly bad. Uh, how do you think founders in somehow can avoid burnout?
Well, usually it's suggested or offered by the medical healthcare specialists to have this routine, to set the routine. Then you have enough of time to rest, enough time to work, enough time for family and friends. So it helps to balance psychological, mental health, and physical health. Um, I think if it works, if this schedule works, so it's good, but it's not for everyone. Probably everyone should find out how to balance and how to relax on their own. I see some people, they are very good in relaxing, doing yoga, exercises, meditation, all this kind of stuff, and it totally doesn't work for me. For me to relax, I must do some kind of very um, physically demanding tasks, as hiking and running, but it's not for everyone. So
We're all different. Me as well. I need at the minimum. I need to walk 1 hour. That's the minimum I can do to have some kind of mental
yeah, and
relaxing.
I had a very funny situation when one of my friends from healthcare, and he said, you should do this hiking or running as long as you feel anxiety, or as long as you get your head clear. And I said, it's if I walk, hike for as long as I get my head clear, or I can't walk anymore, so it may take to 40 kilometers a day. So that's pretty difficult. So I should find out something else to relax. And I then turned to reading books, for example. It helps to calm down the mind and, let's
It
say,
does.
follow other topics.
It does, indeed, it does. Reading is a big deal, especially for entrepreneurs. There is so much to read about, but not only entrepreneurship, everything in life. We can only learn, constantly learning. Where do you see the leverage of having your co-founder?
Well, my co-founder, like our co-founder, let's say it's a company, so it's our co-founder. So he's good at medical engineering and service for hospitals. So he has the uh, knowledge which I don't have. He sees the life in a different perspective. He sees the daily tasks in a different perspective. So it helps to, in one point of view, it helps to avoid the mistakes working in a team. It helps to see things in different way, to make the product more efficient, to make the product better. If we talk about the product itself, it makes some good positive dynamics in the our team as well. Everyone should have their own point of view, and this is what the thing we are uh, working on a lot in the team, to have every person should have their own point of view and say what they think, and then not me deciding or CTO deciding or CEO or whatever C-level deciding what to do next. So we try to have a good, not the family type of the work relationship, but very like agile team, going to the one direction relationship there. So it's not only a CTO, it's other people who are making their own positive impacts and notes and notifications, suggestions, what to do next and how to solve the problems.
Do you think you need to find a co-founder that is pretty much different from you, even in terms of character, to compensate?
Yeah, probably. Well, I'm a very like fixed person. Then I find the target to follow. As in sports, I did in sports. So let's target this 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer running time, 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and I just focus on this when I work on this task day to day and every day, and to reach a specific point. So sometimes I don't see the what's going on outside, and what the bad things are happening or good things are happening. So someone with a very open minded, not so focused, suggesting other things is very good to have in a team.
I mean, where you are, the startup ecosystem is very much growing. Investments are coming. The tech is pretty strong in terms of community. Do you find yourself participating all these events, meetup around tech and startups?
Well, I try to do my best as much as I can to help others, to solve some problems, to recommend something if I can. I do participate in the hackathons to help tech teams to develop their solutions from ideas. So I try to help them as much as I can, because when we started, when we had the idea to make a startup, there was so few, only a few startups in Lithuania, tech startups, no one related to medical hardwares at all. So it was very difficult to find someone to help you, to advise you, or to lead you. So I think that giving back to the environment, to the community is very important, and I help as I can. So
Did you get any help from your community?
yeah, definitely. Now the community is getting bigger and bigger, and it's a relationship, and communication is much better and improving. And so many startups now in the Kaunas in startups community, and general in Lithuanian startups community.
I mean, I'm talking about East Europe as a whole. And for the last probably 20 years, 10 years for sure, has been very fast catching up with the rest of Europe. I'm talking about West Europe, where France, Germany, UK. So the ecosystem has been growing massively, also because a lot of money came in startups, a few unicorn arrived. Where do you see the outlook moving forward?
I think that these Baltic startups now are very focused on a deep tech, still focused on these IT technologies, um, um banks, everything which is IT and the deep tech now is very booming in the Baltic countries. Starting from these drones, let's say, energy, um, solar panels, some kind of ecological stuff for energy development, energy consumption, MedTech, healthcare. So I think that specifically Baltic startups will grow very fast in um, deep tech topics, let's say.
I'm recording from Poland today because I will be here for 2-3 weeks. My wife is Polish. So sometimes we come here for a month. And I had to say that, I consider Poland indeed part of the Baltics, especially when I go north. And I see from Poland all the way up to Lithuania, Estonia. It's a very strong trend in technology. Very, very strong. There is a massive awareness what tech AI can do and a very large and smart adoption. And I do believe tech helped a lot this part of Europe to catch up with the rest because tech
Yeah.
is much more intangible than except AI and data centers where billions are needed probably. The rest is pretty much about knowledge than anything else. So you're right. I do believe the outlook is very bright and long. Let's talk about something that nobody likes, but is there and for 90% of the time appears, which is failure. How do you deal? Do you think about failure when you or just forget, move on, and if happens, happens?
Well, I don't say this bad thing. When the bad things happens, I don't call them like specifically failure. I try to learn from them what we can do next, and we had many failures before, actually, before this day, before today. Project applications, everything, team members, many different kind of failures and engineering failures, let's say, or communication failures, pitching failures, everything. But we chose to, instead of like taking it as a negative side, a negative thing, we discussed it a lot in a team, and we want to take it as a chance to improve or chance to do something different. So I don't think about failure, that I will fail definitely or something, because when you are focused, concerned about failure specifically, so you may prepare yourself for failure, and this kind of mental stuff works. So I rather choose to learn from mistakes, from failures, from something which is not going well, than to just sit and cry because something failed.
Indeed, there's nothing we can do. Actually, I believe in somehow failure, unless destroys you to the ground, which means there are some kind of failure that really rarely makes you up again. But daily failure is there, and if you can recover from it, learn it from it, they're actually good.
Yeah, I do like this quote from the thing United military of United States Army. Then they say that until the death, all the failures are just mental. So
That's true. They are absolutely true. Indeed. And you learn. You need to learn from them. If you repeat the same mistakes all the time, that's a different story. But if you learn from them, that's very helpful. Indeed, it
yeah.
is helpful. Uh, Let me move to startups, especially first-time founder. Most of them they look for mentors. Do you have a mentor?
Yeah, I do.
What's your interaction with mentorship?
Well, I found my mentor in the one of the programs. I think accelerator. It was accelerator program. So we work together for a quite long time, at least for 3 years, 4 years period. And I had assigned few other mentors from the European projects. They were more like specifically dedicated to help to make a business plan or to help on engineering. So I still keep the pretty close contact with the three mentors. We catch up every month to follow up, to see what we are doing, what kind of challenges we are facing, and how can they help us. So I do believe that mentoring is very, very important, specifically in these early stages or first-time founder stages, to guide to the right direction or to help to solve some problems, to open some doors, to make the network, to make your connections, introductions, to help on some specific things that you can't figure out yourself, actually. And it shapes somehow the way you are creating your company. If it's a mentor who made their companies themselves, so they can suggest advice what to avoid, where to focus on, what's working well, what's not working well.
Would you recommend mentors?
Yeah, definitely. But someone should find a good mentor which vibe is the same and understands, let's say, if we are in the MedTech field, someone who understands what the MedTech field is, or who is very familiar with, because if someone from, let's say, economics, IT will come, so it might be difficult to understand what's the dynamics, what's the challenges in the MedTech.
I mean, indeed, we can divide easily between a bad, a good mentor, a good investor. The good one can make you succeed, but the bad one can really destroy you to the ground.
Yeah.
So you must be very careful to decide who to follow, who to listen. How do you see the mental structure of yourself in terms of, are you a big-headed founder, which he doesn't listen anybody, except some discussion with mentors, or you are more a listener and try to understand where you can get the good advice?
Well, I do both ways actually. Sometimes I just listen to their opinion because my mentors are more advanced. Let's say they work in the environment, in the industry for many, many years. I wasn't even born and they started to work in this industry. So sometimes I just sit and listen, as school children does. And sometimes I present my own ideas, my own ways, so what I've decided to do, what I'm planning to do, and they said, "Oh, cool, good idea. I haven't thought about this." So we try to work in this dynamic, let's say, dynamic way. Not only me listening and not only them listening to me, what I decided to do.
I mean, indeed, I believe you must have some kind of listening, right? You need to be flexible.
Yeah, definitely.
On one hand, you must be stubborn. You must be big-headed. You must very much believe in yourself. Otherwise, you can't be an entrepreneur. That's all. On the other side, you need to listen people who can make you making better decision. Don't just repeating mistakes they've been done for too many. Do it again and again. Doesn't make any formal sense. But yeah, as you said, mentors must be experienced and must very know what has been done, what to do. I believe if you need to advise someone, this must be your daily bread and butter, and you had done before. That's why you can tell after to founders where they are, what to do next.
We should have the same values, the same direction we are looking at. I mean that if the, let's say, founder wants to make the short time startup, I just want to have a startup for 3 years and then sell the business and so on. And the mentor is the one who is thinking about 20 years, 30 years in advance, how this company should scale up to the huge unicorn or something, and if they are going to wrong directions. So different directions, I mean, not the wrong directions, to different ways. So this would be very difficult to work because everyone is right. The mentor is right and the entrepreneur is right. So probably the same values and the same direction is important.
I mean, you are the founder. You are the one who bear the risk. There is nothing to do. But again, mentors are good investors as well, especially when you start. Angels, for example, in my opinion, they must be investors, but at the same time, good mentors when you need. Let me move to something a bit different from mentorship. We spoke about failure. Have you ever thought, I'm not good enough?
I think everyone thought about this. I think about this when I find some task which is pretty new. It's pretty common every day. Not good enough at presenting, so not good enough at regulatory description. So yeah, but I just don't loop this thoughts in my mind that I'm not good enough. I know that I'm not good enough, and I try to learn, try to dedicate the task for someone else, and try to solve this situation, not just to sit and in depression of thinking of not good enough. No one is good enough in everything.
I mean, they say doubting is smart. I believe so. You must doubt, not every day, but sometimes you need to stop and thinking a bit, right? Be a founder. What's the best lesson get to you so far?
Well, so far I think that working in a team is much better than working alone. Probably one of the lessons, and we can do much more impactful things and develop the ideas we wanted only working in a good efficient team. So I think so. And other thing, the second thing I think is that, as we talked about the failures, actually, that something which is not going well, which we consider as a failure, sometimes is the best thing what could happen for us. I think, well, some time ago we applied for the funding as well. We were pitching for investors, raising the funds, and we got the answers no, and so on and so on. Even we found out that how many things we should change to prepare better, to calculate better, to get more knowledge, to get more experience, more understanding, and this in the end led us to quite a good result. So
Yeah, I mean, I do believe you got a lot of learning during this journey, and a lot will come for sure. And I really wish you all the possible success. Let me close with any recommendation that you want to give to all the founders watching today.
well, I would say be brave, because being brave means everything. Being brave to get out of your comfort zone, being brave to get a co-founder, let's say, being brave to accept the failure and learn from the failure. So I would suggest that being brave would be the best advice to develop your dream and take a chance. Definitely, if you see that accelerators announcements is popping up in your laptop, and projects and all the programs are just popping up, and just try take one of these programs and you will find out how many things you can learn.
Neringa, thank you so much for coming to Life of Founder. It's been an absolute pleasure for me. Thank you.
Thank you.